Okay. Um, so the reason why I make so many videos of the same thing is just to make it clear. Target individual, the perps want to live in the distorted reality they put together. And they want you to be accepting of this. They're gonna act accordingly. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, they're gonna gaslight you and trying to get you to accept these reactions that you're having that are not happening naturally. And they're gonna try to say the most degrading things. Right now they call you a pedo. Listen, target individual, one thing is for sure is that pedophilia is a niche, is a problem that they have in these agencies. There's a pattern of pedophilia issues in these entities running this program. And this program utilize pedophilia type of torture to torment people. That's why in the last video you see this kid try to try to make herself look like an adult so they can try to create some sexual perception toward her. And it's so sad. It's so nasty. They are foul human beings that will try to make you acceptive of things that you know is not naturally happening. And their job is to continuously maintain this facade, this psyop. You know, it's funny with me, I like to say, you know, like for me, I've been, I'm thankful to that, and I should be praying more and be thankful to God, because the humiliation I can bring to them is just something that you can't even understand. I can say the name of a pedophile or somebody who's allegedly a pedophile, like Roy Moore, right? And I've seen people sweat bullets when I say this name, right? Because as for some reason there's a restriction for you know, to mention his name, right? That's reality. That's somebody who allegedly was picking up kids as young as 14 years old when he was 35 years old. And me saying his name, which has nothing to do with them and me, is like something that makes them super nervous and scared. This is reality. While these people have to create this falsified reality, which is their reality. It's a reality where it's distorted. They feed off the manipulation they can make me experience, and it's obvious. They can make you experience sexual stimulations. They can make you react a certain ways. Some even babies. And their job, as they're supposed to be doing, is to get you to be subscriptive to that. With me, it's been clear. Yes, I'm dying, but you'll die too. Right? You lived your life trying to make people accept manipulations. But the reality was that you're working for entities that had problems with these issues, and on top of that, you torture women and children. And then you'll die. That's a scary thing to do. It's a scary thing to be part of. I know in the meantime, right now, they can enjoy this cowardness of a life that they live and try to play this fantasy. Now, with me, what they've been doing is tell me how I'm going to be tortured and raped, and that is supposed to make me subscriptive to these manipulations. They say these things like, oh, they're going to rape you. It's like, yes, I'll get raped and not subscribe to these pedophilia things that you do to me, because you guys are the low-life pedos that try to make people subscribe to this pedophilia type of torture. They have been torturing the most vulnerable people and utilizing the same tactics. I see you for what you're part of. You are raping these women using this technology. There's a lot of women being tortured and raped by this program. And these people are involved in that. And some of them have also, I think just not only some, I think a lot of them have participated in the torture of women, which consists of raping. This is who's talking to me. And so this manipulation will never be subscriptive. I will never subscribe to this manipulation. You can watch me being tortured in every way possible, but one thing is for sure, I'm thankful to God I'm not in your shoes. These people, they employ the most cowardly, I mean, everybody can be involved. It's so childlike, the retardations. The way they try to make you accept these things. You know, right now they're bringing up something, and so I remember being in the elevator with a bunch of people. I was talking to this guy, right? It's a perp in the laundry room. I know he was a perp. He was trying to get my attention. He was trying to make me subscribe. I look at him like he's just like, you're just a fraud. You just try to make me subscribe to this. We go to the elevator, and there's somebody, I'm looking down, I know this person, I'm getting the sensations, you know when things are not naturally happening. You feel like a weird reaction, like sensations, like nothing is wrong. Like I get like, I don't know if it's a brain chemical that's being released in my brain, or they make me have some reaction in my brain that release but I can feel it's like, oh, something is off. And so I go in the elevator, I look down, I can see just the feet of somebody who most likely, because they're making me feel this reaction, is a teenager. I was like, oh, I know this feeling. It's because they want me to be stimulated toward this person in front of me. Most likely this is a kid. Most likely this is a teenager. And I'm looking down, right? And it's funny now, they're like, oh, you looking at her feet, you like her feet. It's delusion. They live this retardation of reality. And I'm like, one thing is, as you can see, I have body cam now. And I remember, like, try to say, like, let me see who's this person. It looked like a late teenager. I think maybe 17-year-old kid, but that could go into like 17 to 18. But I give her between 16, 17, 18, right? And even when I look at they try to stimulate me, it's like, listen, you've done that to the youngest ones, right? The babies. Yesterday there was this like 15-year-old, like, they try to make me look at her in a sexual way. So the older teenagers, they can do even more. But I have and they're like, you see, that's proof. She was like, listen, I know what you guys do, and I'll never subscribe to it. You guys force people to get stimulation toward kids of all ages, the babies to the oldest. And then they try to do the noise campaign and try to disorient you to try to get you to accept these things. Because these manipulations are things that they've done to others. And they want you to be subscriptive to this. Now, for me, I'm going to react the way they want me to react. They're going to try to break me down to accept this. Me making these videos is me just saying I'm not accepting and subscribing to this falsification of my reactions. It's not natural. It will never be natural. Now, if you can do that to babies, this older kid who's, like later in the late teens, it's going to be easier. If you done that before, like 12-year-old kid that was trying to like shit. So you can imagine. Even younger than this 12-year-old kid, all right? So, for me, it's simple. I'll never subscribe to this. But these people want you to subscribe to it. They even use the tactics of, we're going to show that to people, and they're going to do this, and that will prove that. It's like, listen, one thing is for sure. It doesn't take much to understand that they have systematic tactics of creating program perversion and aiming toward children. And they try to use all the different tonality. Because the mistake of their voices, they really think that that's going to work. And then they see me in person, interact with me in person. It's like, well, you see? You understand I'm not subscribing, right? Let me call Roy Moore right now. What? Sweating. Some bottom feeders open the door and try to counter that. That is their life. I hope they continue to cover up living life, covering up for pedophiles. And then die. I'd rather be screaming in pain than having to live my life, try to counter the reality that I work for entities filled with pedophile and I'm supposed to manipulate people in these pedophile ways. And when somebody say the name of a pedophile, I need to say something. Or you'll be screaming. They're trash. And I remember when I was in the elevator, I was like, I'm going to take... The guy was talking to us, like, man, he's trying to be like, oh my God, look at you. It's like, I know you want me to be thinking this is natural. I know you guys do these things. I'm going to humiliate you guys every time. Every time. Yesterday, I humiliated this kid. That was so weird. The worst part is she put like the... It's like, anytime. You think that I'm supposed to subscribe to this. No, I know. The humiliation in this case is them thinking I'm going to subscribe to it. I could show this. I have her picture. It's like she's like an older kid, so it's easier. At least she looks closer to an adult. If she's not an adult, you can perceive her as such. If it's not going to take. Yesterday, this chubby 15-year-old kid with a... You understand? These people tried their best to get you to accept this thing, and they use these retards. They are childlike individuals. Some of them are actually children. There's no torture that is going to change the reality of what they're part of. My job is this. When I was sleeping, when I'm in bed, that's when they can try to create this like retardation of reality. They try to bring up this person. They made me believe that I'm a father, that you have a child. And it's like, listen, no, I don't have a child. If anything, if I don't have a child that's, it's especially the people that say I have a child with. It's like, no, you wish that was true. They come up with their own fantasies, like, because they first of all say that they did this for this woman. I'm going to make up a name, Courtney. It's like, you did this to Courtney, you did that. Matter of fact, she's even pregnant because of that. You have an 8-year-old child. I'm like, you full of. These people will come up with their fantasy, and because this woman that I will call Courtney, I will never see. I actually try to look for. I don't know. I try to. Okay, I remember last time I saw her was around this area. She was my neighbor, so maybe I can call this place and ask about this person, and like, there's no way I can find her. But one thing is for sure, I don't have, like, if she ever wanted to contact me, ever, my number hasn't changed for so long. It changed in 2020 when I couldn't afford to have 2 phone numbers. So from whenever to, it's still like, it's just delusional. Phone number had it, like, so they come up with, because the reality, they want to present themselves as this like avenging woman, when in reality, these people are raping women and torturing them. And if you listen to all the target videos that are women, a lot of them will mention some kind of sexual torture. They are torturing women and pushing them to kill themselves. So that's why they come up with the little fantasy of storylines, to try to counter reality, because I know who put me in this program. He didn't call, hey, avenging femme fatale women, come get real. No. I'm talking about corporate. The reason why they can't say Roy Moore is the reason why I'm here. The reason they can't say Roy Moore. And so now they are here, oh, we don't know for Courtney. You don't care about Courtney because you're torturing Amanda, Mariana, Jackie, Lisa Baker, Wendy Brown. All these women, the list of Leslie Crawford. You don't care about Courtney when you are here killing all these women. And now you have to make up stories. Oh, you have a... Stop. And they're like, no, you have a child. I was like, I don't have a child with Courtney, that's for sure. Trash ass. They are here coming up with their own little fantasy. Because they are here torturing and killing women all around the world. And they have the audacity to try to come up with the fantasy they want me to subscribe to. Make me imagine me having a child with Courtney. For them to come up with this, no, with that, yeah, and me, I don't have a child with her. You want me to have a child with her? You don't care about that woman. Matter of fact, if she put in this program, you'll fry the crap out of her. You will destroy her life, and you will use rape tactics on her, like many other women that you guys do that to. Now, do not try to use her name when you do these things to me, because there's too many women that you guys are killing. Now, whatever's going to happen to me, I know why. It's because people at this company put me in this program. The reason why you can say Roy Moore. And you guys are these people implementing these tactics to develop this technology. I understand what this is about. Target individual, understand this. As a target individual, we are human subjects. They are experimenting and developing technology that is extremely sophisticated. They play this manipulation and psychological manipulations using this technology that can make you think, react in every way. They can manipulate your memories. But on top of that, they want you to identify, lose the notion of who you are, and accept this manipulation that is not naturally happening. Somebody is literally manipulating your brain. Something is manipulating your brain. Their technology is manipulating your brain to react a certain ways. Understand that. If they can do that to little babies, can you imagine the older kids? And that's the things they're going to do. Now, they try to find ways to get you to identify. It's like, oh, you see, we're going to show that. We're going, the way I've said, I don't know if it's a psychological tormenting tactic, but imagine I want you to accept something that's falsified. What I'll do is, for example, I kept saying, if I put something in your pocket, I make you have like, I put like drugs, I implant drugs in your pocket. And you see that, you're like, oh my gosh. And it's like, oh my gosh, what you have there? Oh, I'm going to show that. They're going to kill you. They're going to do that. They want you to be like, oh my gosh. Oh, no, this is mine. This is the same mentality to create some stress of some sort. I'm like, go. Everybody knows it's falsified. I know. And they're all involved in this. And yes, I'll be tortured the way you tell me I'm being tortured. But knowing that these people know that this is falsified. This is why they have drug little kids and make them hold their purses, look like... I understand the reality of things. I'm a target individual. I'll never be myself. They can make me have all kind of reaction. And then they're going to try to be like, oh God, oh my gosh, it's you. You see? And it's funny. These older kids like, listen. Yesterday, and matter of fact, in real time, I didn't see her. I looked down, and they tried to make me look at her, like, and try to give me sexual perceptions. Like, man, I bet you she's like a teenager of some sort, right? Sometimes it's not actually a teenager. Sometimes it's like a young adult. But they gave me the reaction, which is disturbing. So I look at like, oh yeah, that's like a late teenage. I can show that later on. But they give you stimulation, and they want you to be acceptive of that. And then when this happens, like, oh yeah, they start trying. You are making me feel this way. You are making me react this way. The stimulation, the little thing. This is the technology. This is why you call yourself gods. But I know you're supposed to act like, nah, it's you. There's a poof and busy. Trash ass. They use this gimmicky acting trashness to try to make me subscribe to it. But I embarrass them when I see it. It's like, okay, you think I subscribe to this? Look at me. When I see one of these trash over there in the hallway, I look at, and they look all surprised. I look at you, trash ass. Bottom feels working for pedophiles. If I say roll you more, you can't even, you run away. To all my target individuals, stay strong. I understand that these people are here for one purpose. They're here to break you down, but not just for fun, right? Maybe they enjoy this, maybe it's fun, but it's not just for that. This is a human, they're using human subjects for developing a technology. You think they just for fun, they're just waking up day in and day out to do this thing? No, they gave this incentives, some of them probably financial. But their job is to get you to accept these things. And they're like, oh, we're going to win. Win what? It's like some losers that are playing a video game where the other person doesn't have a controller. I'm going to win. It's like, duh. It's not lose. There's no, wait. You're just such a loser that you think this is winning. To all my target individuals, do not subscribe and do not identify of any of this manipulation. I mean, for me right now, they're going with this older teenage kid and give me. It's like, listen, you were doing that to a 15-year-old kid yesterday. So, whatever. So stay strong and know that justice will be done for the nastiness they've done to us.